Well, I was going to do the jades today, and then fun enough, I've been looking at this olive for the last couple of days, and I think you may have got an update on the airlayers at the beginning of this, but I just couldn't help notice that the amount of growth coming out the base of that, I want to have a look. I want to see if that's done. So we're going to remove that airlayer, and I'll use the same treatment for this that I'll do for all the others, and hopefully, this being my first olive, hopefully it's going to be a relatively straightforward and there's going to be lots of roots under the actual airlayer itself. I know I've still got a couple of hornbeams, a lime, hawthorns and a lot of maples to do, but let's get this one out of the way. Down to the bottom of the garden, I think. Hi, yeah, it's Xavier down the bottom of the garden, and you know that because you just heard me muttering about bringing this monster back down, which is the first ever olive I've tried to do an airlayer on, and it was a last minute decision about, gosh, it must be about 8 weeks ago. I'm sure there's a video somewhere that shows that. Look at that, that's my washing line. I know, you think I'm a movie star, you think I'm one of these rising stars that you're going to want autographs from and you're going to visit. Well, there you go, there's my jeans, some duvets. Yeah, really interesting. Let's just say, you've seen it before, but that's the mess still to go. It's going to be air layered, but hopefully I'll be putting an air layer somewhere, somewhere like that, at about that sort of angle. Yeah, so no idea if it's the right time for olive. I was going to wait and wait, but you know what? I've got the moss, I've got the desire, so let's get it done now. So what I've done is I've just marked a line. This is basically where I see the front going to be from here. I'm taking off probably nearly two-thirds, and what I want is the new plane to be there. So I'm going to take away all this, give myself a rough line to guide. So here we go. I don't know whether you can see the different colours there. You've got the bark there, then you've got the green. Well, I've just got back to have a look, and I think the wind blew the camera off, so I'll find out later just how much that you got, but you've seen most of it. Just going to dust it with some powder and get the moss in. So I'm going to try something different. Some people say, just to ensure that bridge never occurs, you wrap the wire really tight there. Probably didn't give myself quite enough plastic. Okay. And I just thought I'd give you a quick look at what you can do with some nursery stock. Little Pyracantha. Just basically clip and grow for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Haven't done anything more than that with it. Lovely white flowers. and that's well within the ability of anyone who's literally picking it up for the first time. You don't need special tools, just cutters and a bit of patience. So yeah, that's my little Pyracantha. I've got a few like that. Anyway, that's it for now. Cheers. Can't see much of the tree, I know, but that's the bit we're interested in. And clearly the thing that's really pushed me is that we've got lots of nice green shoots coming from two very distinct points, which, if I'm going to be cutting it there, is going to make for an interesting thing. So, what's under there? If there's roots there, then I'll be cutting that right back, and I think if I remember rightly I had it on an angle, so we'll see how that works out. A bit noisy. I've got my pot for this, should it work out. I've just a little bit of soil in the bottom, but basically most of what I'm going to be doing is using sphagnum moss, and I'm just going to be putting the ball in the sphagnum moss and surrounding it. This will be the first year that I'm pretty well going straight from airlayer straight into a sphagnum moss, and the reason I do that is because Peter Chan has absolutely fantastic results doing it. So we'll see how that goes. Make a little hollow. Always the nervy bit when we separate. And the decision is do I actually do the cut now? Okay, let's have a look. Because in the end there's no point doing the cut if there isn't enough roots in there. So okay. Just to help, I shall take the camera and we shall do an up high so you can see what I'm seeing, and clearly there'll be roots just about there. I haven't looked any further around, and truthfully I'm not going to disturb the ball at all. I will plonk it straight in, but I've seen one nice fat root, so that should be enough for me to separate. Okay. Yeah, I've got lots of root heads there, so what I just want to do, have a little look, just very carefully, without disturbing too much. And what we don't want is all that muck to come away. What I do want to be able to do is get a cutting angle in there. And this is classically the day when you really could do with having someone else around. Okay, let's just keep that tight in. Now, just leave that like that. Okay, that sounded a bit messy, but right, let's have a look and see. Just want to clean this up, and then I'm going to have a great big glob on it. So what we don't want is the risk of any dye back to affect these two. A nice big whack of lovely. So the good thing here, and why I was so excited about it to be honest, is I didn't know that I was going to get any sort of anything from this stump, which, having looked at all the books, I should have been a lot less worried about that. That's going to be beautiful. That's going to be beautiful. And this, I'll remove probably one or two of the branches. There's 3 coming out from each of those. I mean, that much more better now than that great big stump that was on it. Oh look, Mr. Spider. Right, let's move this to one side. Okay. So all things being equal, even if this doesn't work, I'm going to get myself a lovely little tree out of that. So now what we're going to do is very carefully unwrap. Okay. And the wire's still caught up in the base there somewhere. So it's still up there. I don't want to upset that clump. Roots coming all over the place here, but there's a little root. Okay. I don't want to I'm literally just going to load more sphagnum. The temptation to look at the roots and the potting angle that I did for it it's really quite intense. Just have a little peek, but all I needed to know was that there were viable roots there. And that they certainly appear to be. What I want to do is ensure that I do nothing, absolutely nothing to compromise those roots. So, absolutely sphagnum city. Now obviously that's been separated from its reservoir of water. So now the only way it's going to get moisture is through the baby roots it's got, which are really not going to be up to the job, and what we can maintain. So I'll jam that in there so that the tree doesn't move much. We don't want to move it off. And now I do remember, I'm sure. Right, I'm literally going to clip back to. Take that off. I don't know whether that can be planted straight or not, to be honest. Couple of these back to just reduce the load on this as much as I can. Sure, I didn't want that bit up there, to be honest. If I remember rightly, it was there. So I'll find out afterwards it wasn't. That's what we've got. There's roots. I I'm fairly secure that that should do okay. I'll probably put it in the greenhouse with the other stuff at the moment, and I just need to make sure that's not moved. It'll stay in the greenhouse over winter. Okay, so I'll call that a double success because I've got something from the stump.